All right. So here's the thing. Da Vinci was very inquisitive. He wondered a lot of things and he studied a lot. He studied about nature, anatomy, machinery, physics, architecture, weaponry, you know, just a variation of things. Now, he designed and created a lot of stuff. Stuff for practical use, stuff for war. Um, and the thing is, a lot of these things were ahead of their time, way ahead of their time, and they were pretty accurate, and they were workable designs. Supposedly, there were some things he made with some design flaws, so that they wouldn't work, especially some of his weapons. Okay, now some of the things that basically were created because of um, his designs were like the bicycle, helicopter, submarine, tanks. So there's a bunch of stuff that he designed, that he created, and that other people took it a step further and they created these inventions. Um, Now going back to what I was saying earlier in the other video, is that Da Vinci did a lot of paintings and a lot of projects, a lot of designs, and he did not finish them. He would start on it, he would get going on it, and then who knows? Maybe he was just tired of it. Maybe his focus went to something else. Maybe he got just I hate to use the word, but bored of whatever he was doing, and he went on to another thing. Um, that's the thing. But it's weird because he everything he did was so amazing. And if you look up his sketches, they're beautiful. His paintings, his artwork, his inventions were all just top notch. And for him just to stop and go, no, what? I'm gonna go do something else. It's like, why not finish this? You're on the verge of a breakthrough. You're almost done. This thing is amazing. Why not finish it? He just does not do that. Um, he spends a lot of his time, however, in nature, testing scientific laws. One of the big ones that he was doing was dissecting bodies, not only humans but animals, because he wanted to know how things worked in the body, bones, ligaments, muscles, tissues, things like that. And he would basically write down what he saw, what he noticed, um, and what he thought about in his notebook. All right. Um, so his anatomy notebook is pretty good. And if you look at his sketches, I would strongly recommend you type that in Google Da Vinci sketches anatomy, and you'll see some really impressive sketches that he did. All right. Now, in the 1490s, he created a notebook of his painting, architecture, his machinery, the anatomy. And the thing is, he wrote it in a left-handed mirror script. Now, if that kind of sounds weird, all you have to do is look to the pictures to the right, and there you can see an example on the top. Basically, the way you read that is you get a mirror, and that's the picture on the bottom. Get a mirror and you place it right next to it, and then you read from the reflection of the mirror, and you can see what he wrote. It's actually pretty interesting. It's pretty cool. That's how he wrote his notes. Now, it's one thing to take your time to try to kind of write like that. As you can see, he just he just did it. All right. Um, he was a master at that. In his little codes and things like that. Different ways of writing. Um, so it's pretty interesting. All right. Now, the notebook that I told you about, um, he had several, and they were known as his codices. And the thing is, after he died, basically pages were ripped out and they were sold. Okay, they're scattered like everywhere at this point. Because again, it's the Great Da Vinci. So his sketches, his artwork was just everywhere, in Europe and things like that. Um, the other thing was he didn't get much fame because of his anatomy work. And the reason for that is because he didn't publish it. He just observed, wrote it down, drew things, but he never got it published so that it could be in a book and it could be sold. Um, so that's why he doesn't get much credit when it comes to anatomy. But again, if you type it in Google, you put Da Vinci anatomy sketches, drawings, you will see his artwork and it's phenomenal. All right. Now, in 1516, he left Italy. Okay. And he basically was hired by the French king Francis I. Now, he was given the title as the premier painter and engineer and architect of the king. Okay. Now, Da Vinci's already kind of older at this time, right? He's in his, I believe, his 60s. So he's already older, he's established. And the king is like, you know what, dude, I just want you here by my side in the sense. So he basically says, you know what, you can paint and draw whatever you want, whatever you want. Okay. And he gave him a very comfortable home. Um, it was a chateau, very nice home. Okay. And the thing is, Da Vinci wasn't really happy. He was just like, okay, just Da Vinci was one of those people who needed something and just to, hey, we need to get this done, get it done. And he could do it. But once you basically, hey, do what you want, things like that, he's kind of has no, there's no focus, there's no aim, there's no goal. So he just kind of idles on in a sense. All right. But yeah, he does die in 1519 and he was 67 years old. Now, this is where it's like kind of sad because during the French Revolution in the early 1800s, his gravesite was completely destroyed. All right. And now it's impossible to know exactly where he was buried. Okay. Um, that's kind of sad thing though. Now, if you look to the picture on your right, that is known as to be a portrait. He did a self-portrait of himself. All right. So more likely that's how I look like right before he died. So here is your final question. Do you feel that Leonardo da Vinci should be considered an influential person? Why or why not? Give two examples. Okay. Um, Now, I know this is two videos, um, and I don't know if you how well you took your notes, but look through them and think to yourself, is he really? Should he be considered influential? You know, yeah, he did a lot of stuff, but a lot of stuff he didn't finish. So what do you think? All right. So give a couple examples, explain yourself, your reasoning. All right. And once you're finished, make sure your name's on the notes. Be sure you put, you know, the chapter, 3.4 and all that stuff. Notes slash Da Vinci. Okay. And like I said at the beginning of the video, be sure you actually put down, it says warm up, notes, question, things like that. Okay. That helps me out a lot more. Okay. Um, so that's it for this lesson. Hopefully you learned something new. And as always, once you go into class with your notes, just turn them into the basket. Do not hand it into me. Turn it into the basket and you'll get your credit. Okay? So that's it for us. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something and have a good day.